frugal. Very nice. I'm definitely going to be coming back to this house. Regev Farkas, great to have you in my house.
Thank
here
you
on
very
Winners
much.
on a Wednesday.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
You've got an incredible story. You went from literally nothing, holes in your shoes, absolute outcast, to now having a £3 million property portfolio with a net profit of £500,000 in there, which is just incredible. So tell me, how did this all start? How did you end up in the UK? Where are you from? What's your story?
I'm from Israel. I came here about 7 years ago. I come here, as you say, basically with nothing, with £50 and my little dog. I searched myself for a while, a few months here and there, small jobs, until I've got an offer to be a laborer in the construction industry.
Okay.
I didn't have so many other options, and I went and worked.
Were you happy?
I was happy because I had a job and I could pay my rent and eat.
How much were you getting paid?
I used to get £70 per day,
Okay.
and pay a small debt here in the UK for a friend that used to help me pay my rent.
Yeah.
I used to give him back 30 from this 70 every day. So I basically used to make £40 every day.
Right.
And from there I had to grow and climb the ladder.
So out of that £40, do you have expenses? Bus fare?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes?
Yeah, food.
So you were living not a luxurious life?
Not at all. I used to rent a room in an HMO house.
Right.
Yeah.
And not only did you not have any money, you'd borrowed money off of people, which was bad debt. How much were you in debt at this point when you were working as a labourer?
So I came to England with 100k debt.
Right.
And then I borrow here around 3k from a friend, just every time a little bit more, just to survive, just to hold myself alive.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy, but I was very happy to work.
Yeah. So I imagine there's a lot of people in that same situation. A lot of people say that hard work leads to prosperity. I believe that hard work does not lead to prosperity. It's about working hard, but also about working smart at the same time. So you were working really hard. You told me you were hard up, holes in your shoes, bad back. What did life look like at that point?
It was very, very hard. It was the worst time of my life. I used to look at the mirror and not even recognize myself. I never cried in my life. That was a period that I used to cry a lot. It was an experience, but the moment it was behind me, I think it's make me even stronger than what I was.
And your little dog, what's the dog's name?
Jack, it's a Jack Russell.
You still have it?
Yeah, he's 12 years old.
Wow.
I'm not gonna give it up. Like sometimes I had to buy him food not for myself.
Yeah.
And like.
Now, something remarkable happened when you were working as a labourer, because for a start, you got into rent-to-rents.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So I was looking for more ways to make an income, as you say, as a labor. It's not taking you nowhere, and every opportunity used to pass by. I used to grab it with my two hands. So I had an opportunity. I knew somebody who bought a house, but it was uninhabitable.
Right.
It was like a few windows missing, old carpet, painting, small stuff. But I offered him to rent the house for a year and a half and to renovate it myself, but for a good price. It was £1,000 a month, and it was a big house. And from the £1,000 I also deduct the cost of the renovation, that it was £6,000. So basically I left to pay £500 a month in the first year. And I took the house, renovated very quickly. And the same guy that bought the house, it was the guy that I used to work for in the construction. So automatically I just took his employees and put them into the house. And I used to make like 3k a month.
Wow.
Yeah, because the room in North London are expensive. You're looking at like 800, 900 a room. And it was a big house, so it's created a very nice cash flow.
And with that money, you then started paying off your £100,000 debt.
Yes.
Now, when did you, because your portfolio now consists of buy, refurbish, refinance properties.
Yes.
You've got a portfolio of around £3 million around London, which is incredible how you went from that to that. When did you realise about buy, refurbish, refinance, and how did that happen?
So when the corona started, I was like, okay, I will stay more at home and try not to go to my teams of the construction. They still worked outside, but I was trying to stay as much as I can home. And obviously you have a lot of time home. You want to make something in this time. So I was searching what can I do with the money I saved in property. So I think I Googled house flips, and straight away you appear there with your video, and I start to listen, and it was the BRR video. I'm like, oh my God, if this is actually real with my construction company, I can make it happen. And yeah, I start to search deals, and when I find the first one, I'm like, that's it.
Another thing as well is you have a really great energy about you. No one can meet you and forget you.
Thank you.
And you are great at pulling people together. So when you kind of got gripped on this property vision, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, you've pulled in quite a lot of people. You've pulled in some amazing joint venture partners that have helped and teamed up with you to get where you've got to. How important do you think it is to collaborate with others rather than trying to do everything alone?
It's very important. I mean, in this work, there is so many angles. You need to have good lawyers. You need to have, if it's in the construction, so your builders, your architect, your engineer, all the power team around you. Obviously, you need it. You cannot do it without it.
Yeah. Also, you were the fastest person ever to get through the deal finding extravaganza course. Like, the fastest ever. I mean, you don't mess about.
No, I think that my biggest value is that I'm a man of action.
Yes.
Massive action. Even today, when all my equity is invested, I'm going and I put in offers on house, like, okay, 1.3 million, no problem, offer. I put in offers. When I get offer accepted, then I start to search for the investor. So yes. Yeah, I take the action into a different level.
That's really important though, because I think that's the thing that most people will lack. Most people are trying to work out the XYZ rather than just walking the ABC, whereas you're the opposite.
Yeah.
You'll just run through the ABC
yes.
without knowing really what you're doing, but you'll just figure it out as you go. You'll ask for help when needed. You've come around my house. You spent the day with me, I think, last year.
Yeah.
You've done the deal fund extravaganza, the Samuel 365,
yes.
But at the same time, you don't try and figure out every bit of detail. You just take massive action, which again is another really, really important lesson. So tell me about your first BRR deal. How did it come about? What are the figures? Talk me through the deal.
So in many of the videos that I watched, it's mentioned that it's very hard to do BRR in London. So I start to search. Also, I was a first-time buyer. I never had a property in the UK, so I knew I should pass to the ladder of the buy-to-let with being a landlord. I didn't know any other ideas at the time. So I was like, okay, I will buy a small property just to be a landlord. And okay, so I start to search for small properties, and then I realized this is a one-bedroom flat in ground floor. It's a masonette, it's been split before, but I can still do the extension. I can still do the same work like I'm doing for any other house. And then it will be 3 bedrooms like HMO. What will be the value then? Start to do the calculation, and I realized, wow, it's 100 meters from my house, and it can be done here in Edgware. Even though because of my cost price are lower, because I'm the contractor, it's all come together.
Yes.
So like, okay, that's my first deal. I went to my broker. He's one of my customers. I knew he's a mortgage broker, and I went there to have an advice. And when he saw my deals, he offered to join in. and to go straight away on two of them because we are two.
So you went to your mortgage broker to ask for traditional finance.
Yes.
You hadn't got a property. You'd never bought a property.
Never.
You're from Israel. But your mortgage broker said, you found such a good deal. Forget me trying to get you a mortgage. I'll come in on the deal myself.
Yeah, and we've done two straight away.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
It shows the power as well of not just getting the good people around you, taking massive action, but also the power of finding a good deal.
Yes.
I always
definitely.
say if you find a good deal, the finance will come.
Yes, it's true. It's true.
And you found a really, really good deal.
And then after that, I stayed with like 75k equity in my hand. We're like, okay, that will be enough for half investment for another deal. Where can I get another 75k? So a friend told me, listen, there is a good bridger here in the community. Go and ask for 75k. So when I get there, he saw the deal and he was like, why you need to get the bridge? I can join in with you as well.
Right.
Like, all right, let's go for it. Yes.
So, and again, a lot of people will say, I can't get the finance, I'm from a different country, I'm a first-time buyer, so I can't. But instead of trying to find the problems, what you did was you found the opportunities, you found the deals, and then you made a way. You forced, when the doors were shutting in your face, you were kicking them open.
Yes.
Which is what
I had a lot of difficulties. Like I had one of those properties, the mortgage offer was delaying, and the seller decided he don't want to sell anymore because he got like other agency come to him and tell him you're selling it too cheap because I really squeezed the price nicely there, and he canceled the deal. I was very disappointed, but after 1 month the agent called me. He was like, the deal is back on the table, but he won't take 10k more. I was like, all right, no problem. We have a deal, and we bought it.
And how much did you pay for it?
So this one I paid $370.
Yeah.
10k stamp duty.
Yeah.
And 60k renovation.
So all in all, so
440.
440. Okay.
And the project was taking first floor masonite house, so it's basically half a house. It's a flat, and from 2-bedroom I went up to the loft and make it 3 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Obviously removing some walls, make open plan, very modern, and make it very, very high spec.
Yeah.
And like 3 weeks ago, the bank valuated it in 600.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's 160 grand equity profit.
Yeah, or 100% out with refinance.
Right.
Yeah, both basically. It's 100% out plus like 160k equity on the house.
And that's what you've been choosing to do. You've been pulling out your money. How many deals like this have you done over the last year or so?
I've done 4 deals like that. That one of them is a whole house that I split into 2, so it's basically 5 properties.
5 properties.
Yeah.
And are you refinancing them all, or have you already refinanced?
Now I'm in a process because
Right.
all started. I ran on them in the renovation all together.
Yeah.
So
Are they all rented out?
all rented out. I actually wait for the 6 months period to start the refinance.
Yes.
Because I make the renovation very
And
quick.
how many of the 5 are you having to leave any money in?
None of them.
You're pulling all your money
All
out.
the money back.
That's incredible.
I mean, that's the deals I'm looking for from the beginning. Now, after I got all those valuations from the banks, I know the exact numbers. I also work in a very specific area,
Yeah.
so I don't need to do all the due diligence all over again and all over again.
'Cause you found
I
your
know the
banks.
numbers, everything is clear.
Yeah.
I just need to buy it in the proper price, and I'm good to go.
A lot of the training that you did with me was online because
Yes.
you did this during lockdown.
Exactly.
So you did the deal funding extravaganza. You did all of the
Everything, crash course.
yeah.
I know any video of yours by heart.
What was the training like?
I love it. I mean, I felt like it's like feeding my soul because I know I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I knew I need to gain as much as more knowledge.
Yeah.
It's a game of big money, at least for me. And I wanted to reduce the risks as much as possible and getting as much as more golden nuggets
Yeah.
from everywhere I could.
Also, the day that lockdown was lifted, the very same day, I opened my house up and I said, I'm opening my house up. Anyone wants to come? It's £500. come down and we'll spend the day together. And it's going to be intimate because it's just in my house. And you were the first person that booked on.
Yeah.
What made you book on and what happened?
I won't miss a good opportunity. As I say, I'm a man of action. There is an option to meet. I'm coming.
Yeah.
At the moment, at the time, I didn't know you personally. I'm like, that's the right moment. That's the time to meet.
When was that? That must have been about a year ago?
That was a year ago.
You never went back into lockdown?
I think it was a bit more maybe than a year ago, because I completed on the first property a year. No, it's exactly a year ago.
Right.
It's exactly a year ago.
So, talk to me then. Your properties now, if you add them all up, the value is around £3 million.
Yes.
And you've got quite a lot of equity, about £500,000.
My side, in the whole 3 million, there is £1 million equity.
Right, but
Yeah.
your profit is £500,000.
Yeah.
Going from a few years back, coming to England with nothing, £100,000 worth of debt. You arrived 7 years ago in England. You were working on £40 a day, holes in your shoes, to now having £3 million worth of property. How does that feel?
It's feel good. It's surreal. It's giving me some relaxation. But from the other hand, when you come from the place that you are so low, it's leaving you with some mental scratches, issues, and you're always afraid to be there again.
Right.
So it's hard to go and jump and dance and be over the top because of it. I prefer to first reach my goals, and then I will celebrate.
Yeah.
My goals are way more.
Yeah, okay.
So,
but you said to me when we were speaking off camera, I was like, wow, you've done amazing, you've made so much money. You also, per month, you're now making pretty decent money.
Yeah.
How much are you making now per month?
Well, all of them together at the moment is like 6K, so yeah.
Which is a really good wage.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
it
6K,
is.
and it's passive.
Yeah.
6K.
It's the cash flow. Yeah.
Yes.
It's the cash flow.
So £6,000 a month, passive cash flow,
Yeah.
plus £500,000 personal equity for yourself.
Yeah, yes.
I mean, you're almost a cash millionaire. You will be very soon. And but you said to me, you said, Samuel, don't forget though, I'm still the underdog. I'll always be.
I will always be the underdog.
What do you mean
And
by
you're
that?
saying you're almost a cash millionaire, but I'm the most broke cash millionaire at the moment in the world.
Why are you?
Because I invest everything back.
You're throwing it all back into the
Yes,
business.
yes. I don't want to hold anything in my pocket at the moment as much as I can make it grow and grow and grow until I reach my target.
Yeah.
I'm fine with being simple. I don't need to be a cash millionaire.
Okay, in some ways, you're very exuberant with your money. You're like, for instance, you're like, oh, £500 to come and meet Samuel in his house. I'll do it. I'll make money. I'll throw it back into my properties. I'll throw it into. In some ways, you're very exuberant with your money, but then in other ways, you're very, very frugal.
Yeah.
You're very tight. Talk to me about the things that you're tight and frugal and reserved with your money, and the things that you're
So
exuberant.
no, I don't think I'm tight. I mean, my average living cost is like 6K in London. I mean, kindergarten £1,000.
Yeah.
Flat is £2,000. 2 cars is £1,000, and food, and it's a 6K. So I wouldn't say, and we take in holidays, and we have whatever we need and want.
You're not that broke then. You said you were the brokest.
Yeah, but I've seen better days with cash flows in my pocket. So I say I'm like kind of a broke, but not a millionaire.
I don't think you're that broke. But anyway.
No, not a broke. I always find a joke that like I'm a broke rich guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But and also you've pulled in your solicitors, your mortgage broker, your bridging. Why do all these people want to invest in your deals? What are you saying that's making them want to invest?
So my added value basically is that I'm offering to my investors that I'm doing the building cost price through our sharing company.
Yeah.
And that creates straight away big chunk of the equity at the end of the project.
Right.
So that's the add value that I bring with me. At top of I source the deal, I manage the deal, I do the whole thing.
So it's about what you're bringing to the table. You might not have had much money to start with, but you had the construction knowledge, the skills, you had the time, you had the ability to find the deals off the back of the videos and the training. So you're bringing quite a lot to the table All they're bringing to the table is putting the money in.
Yeah, in the first 3 property I invest together with them.
Yeah.
The first 2 that I've done with my first investor, I invest with him, and it was my climbing on the ladder, like to be from first time buyer to buy to let.
Yeah.
So in JV it's a good solution for this situation.
Yeah. What are you working on right now?
At the moment I have in an external work. I'm building a school in Hendon, and I also at the end of my big project finishes the house that I'm splitting into 2 flats. It's very exciting. All of them in Mill Hill. It's like a luxurious area in North London, right next to Edgware where I live. And that's it, that's my area.
So what are you doing with this school? That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, in the school, it's kind of like few years project. Every time they add in more and more into the school, more classes, more areas. And now we started big project there that we actually gonna raise 2 more floors into the schools. They're gonna make a wedding hall above it and a few more classes. It includes metal structure and it's something nice.
Here's something interesting. I understand why, from someone that was working as a labourer for £40 a day, why you'd want to put the work in to make more money. But now you've got to a point where you're making great money, got a big portfolio, but you're still just as hungry as ever. What is it that drives you? What's the reason behind all this?
I think maybe because I quit school when I was young, when I was 15. Always had the feeling that don't stay behind no one and run in front of everyone. And I think this is my motivation in life, and this is what's trigger my massive action. I mean, I don't want to stay behind.
Yeah. Did you feel that you failed in school?
I wasn't fail. I was like, I'm kind of a person that likes to do whatever he chose to do.
Yeah.
I guess I born with it. So I used to start like the first semester like excellent, and then in the middle one it was like, what's going on with you? And in the third one they like, you're not staying with us for next year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't that I wasn't good. It's just I didn't like it, or I didn't have the patience or the focus.
What do you love about property so much?
Oh, in properties, I love everything. I love everything. First of all, the build. They start for me from the build side. So it's the build side is interesting, is profitable, and also from the investment side. I mean, who don't want to leave a legacy for his family, for his kids, something that will stay after me.
Do you have kids?
I have a little girl.
How old is she?
She's 2 years old.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Her name is Emily.
Yeah.
I would also would like to take advantage of this stage, say thank you to my wife, because when I met her, I was broke, and she believed in me.
Right.
She took me from the floor, you know. It's like my screen in my phone broke. I didn't even have money to go and fix it, or how to call to search for a job. This is how she took me, and this is how she believed in me, and respect for her for that.
Mad respect. I
yes.
think having a supportive partner behind you is the most underrated thing. It's so great to have someone behind you that believes in you.
Definitely. She's my partner.
How does she feel about what's happened?
She's 100% supportive. She's given me all the freedom in the world to do whatever I think is right. She never disagree with my move.
Yeah.
The opposite.
With your ambition.
Very ambition.
What was it about me that made you decide to come and train with me?
You have the best energy. I mean, like all the other guys are boring. You can fall asleep when you listen to them. You have the energy. I mean, listen to you. It's come in. It's like when you have a boring teacher and a very exciting teacher. It's just the same. And I felt the connection. Also because you have quite similar story than me. Like you quit school when you was young. You are a believer, and I think we have many points in common. And yeah, you are my man.
Well, I'm absolutely over the moon for what you've achieved.
Thank you so much.
You should be. I think now is the time to celebrate what you've done.
Yes,
as
that's
well
the
as
time.
look forward to what's coming. What would you say to somebody watching this that's maybe in a situation whereby they might be 35, like you were when you started, they've got nothing, and they're thinking, is this really possible, or is this just a pipe dream? What would you say to them?
So, first of all, yes, it is possible. I will tell them to believe in themselves. I believe them to take I will tell them to take massive action. Not to be afraid. I mean, you'll gain your confidence with the success of your moves. But if you won't do your move, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I started 35 years old with a disc slide in my back. Like, I used to go and dig in the ground with a shovel. That was horrible. But in my mind was, you continue forward. It's a period of time, it will pass, everything will be just fine. And you need to continue. And really, if I can inspire even one guy to go out from the hole and climb up the ladder, I've done mine. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that.
And I love that you've reached, not in your opinion, but in many people's opinions, you've reached the top. I know you think that you've not reached the top yet, but you've reached the top, but you're trying to pull other people up, inspire other people.
Always.
I love that about you.
Always. I mean, if somebody will tell me I want to learn and it's happened, I put them next to me as a mentor, but a mentor that is taking them with him all day long during the day. They hear my conversation, they see the work, they see that's a pleasure to do. Like, I love it.
Because a lot of people ask me, why do you teach people? Why do you open your house up? And it's hard to really explain, because until you've had some success, you don't know what you'd be like. But after becoming successful myself, I get the same buzz seeing you win and seeing other people win as I did seeing myself win.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the underdog, will always be. So when I have an underdog that is, like, from my point of view, is with me, is in my level, I want to help him to be a big underdog, upper dog.
But I'll tell you something interesting. You are an underdog, and you always will be, because of where you've come from, what you've had to do.
Yeah.
But you have never been a victim.
No.
And there's a big difference. Sometimes people think, I'm an underdog, but then they use that as an excuse not to do stuff, and they think they're a victim. I'm here, I've got no money, I've got this debt, it's not my fault, blame.
No.
But you've never been that way.
No, I can actually take even responsibility. I came here broke because I over-leveraged myself in my own country.
Yeah.
So I've done something there, but it's left me broke.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people as well that I'm coaching, I feel like when people have got it all together and they're making 70 grand a year, they've got 2 cars, they've got a corporate job, a wife that expects 2 holidays a year, 3 kids, it's harder for them to make it than it is for people like you that had nothing, because when you've got nothing, you've also got nothing to lose.
Yes, it's true. It's true. But when I started the investment, I had something to lose. I already saved my equity. I mean, I didn't start it from zero. I start with like between 150 and 200K when I start to invest.
Yeah.
It took me years to save it. I had the goals. Each time, next goal. Okay, now I will reach this number. Now I will reach this number till that time. So I always was in a track about my finance and about my pot.
Yeah. But in making that money though, you still had risks, because in doing the rent-to-rent, for example, that could have made you in even more debt. But
that's true.
You took a risk, but you did it in a way which was like, this has to work.
Yes. I won't give up. No, it's like I will push anything I'm doing till the point it's working.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no other option for me.
The money that you made from rent-to-rents even was ridiculous.
Yes, it was
crazy money.
Yeah. One property, 3K
a month. And you just saved it.
Yeah, I just saved it, and it helped me to sort out my debt in Israel.
Yeah. Well, listen, massive congrats.
Thank you so much, Samuel. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
I appreciate you coming down to my house and coming on the show, sharing the story.
Thank you very much.
And I'm sure one day we'll do some deals together.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Awesome.